title. Calm. As smart as you think you are. Copy the description, and go live on Facebook. And share it out real quick from my page. Here's all these processes to do. My page. So I got a memory this morning. A memory. I like these memories. I like the memories because it actually things that my friends will remember. It's actually pretty genius. This Facebook memory stuff. I guess I didn't get one. Probably upset with me. I shared a Claudia video. Did y'all see that? Claudia and had Cynthia McKinney on. Had a Facebook memory this morning. That's probably why you're upset with me. You had Cynthia McKinney on. I had to share that out. Take us out the country. Let's see. Oh wow, the music in already? Oh, maybe I didn't start it over. Okay. I'm not running that late today. Hang on, let me share this out on my page. Good morning, Lori. See you coming in. Good morning, Deborah. All right, you see. Let me share this out. 2 more pages. Is that Deborah? Hey, Deborah. How you doing? Don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me, girl. We're on Claudia Street. Gotta share the video. We gotta get bloody. Deborah has some interesting friends on her page. All right, hang on. Let me share this. Green fry. Share that on Sister's page. Good morning, Beaufort. Oh, damn, he's already muttering to himself. Need to grab a cup. Good mood. And see if I'll catch up. I'm always muttering to myself. Good morning, Adrian. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Heaven. Yeah, I'm always muttering. I mutter to myself. I talk to myself all the time. I'm always in good conversations. Twuffer. What's Twuffer, Lori? I don't know what that is. All right, hold on. Let me bring you 2 comments in. I don't know what the hell is a Twuffer. You making words up too, Lori? I like to make words up. I like because we just... I'm anti-establishment everywhere. I'm anti your King's English. We should just make up our own words and not tell Congress and the Senate what the words are. We should make up our own words, not tell anybody's leaders what our words are. Hang on, let me see. All right, bring YouTube in. Focus. Let me go find YouTube comments. All right, YouTube, here we go. Be the upgrade. All right, boom, be the upgrade on YouTube. All right, good morning. Happy Friday. It is Friday all day today. Good morning, Tina. How you doing this morning? Brother Daniel. There we go there. And let me see. Good morning. There you go. Augustus on YouTube. All right, good. Good morning, everybody. Today. Oh, well, let's talk about this morning. We got to a great conversation. Claudia and Cynthia McKinney. We're talking about sustainability, lies, government, all that delicious stuff. Don't trust them. Don't feed the machine. The deepest thing, well, one of the deepest things is Cynthia said this morning. Don't feed the machine. 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 Feed the machine as little as possible. She was kind of explaining, Cynthia McKinney used to be a congresswoman. Her biggest flaw is she actually is a human being and she gave a damn. So being what y'all would call, what y'all call her, African American, whatever y'all call it, people of color, dark people, darkness, what do y'all call it? I don't know what y'all call them people, because I ain't one of them people. I don't know what y'all, you put people in groups, ain't put me in no damn group. I ain't no jigger bunny. Slave masters don't color me, I color my damn self. Today I don't know what I'll be. Anyway, that's what y'all call her. So what she did, she went to the Ku Klux Klan because they were in her district. Where was it, Georgia? She went to the Ku Klux Klan, said, what can I do to help you? Real woman. See, every now and then Congress will mess up. Every now and then you'll get a real woman in Congress. She was not playing. She went right down to the Klan. I need your votes. What can I do for you? She found out they're human beings like everybody else. She knew that love conquered hate, and they had to chase her the hell out the country. Because every now and then you let somebody real in government, they can't stay. Why? Because sane people can't stand the company of psychopaths but for so long. So they chased her out. Where does she live? In China now? Japan? But anyway, one of the deepest things she said is she orchestrated a way, figured out a way to make a life for herself where she's not feeding the machine. She's not feeding the machine that kills and murders people. All right, hold on. She's not feeding the machine. And I think talk about most days we come here, how do we figure, like, look at what's going on. How do we live lives, refeed this machine as little as possible? Why? Because the machine killed people. Other walking around here, who else? All y'all thug life truth people. We're over on, I don't know whose page that was. Oh, GM Schumer, you're on his post. Y'all see his post? 400 or 500 comments long, still going, still going, still going. Get out there, boy, they just fighting for their machine. Cobb is a gentleman. I won't say his name. But he took a whole lot of money from war, murdering and genociding people, and he's running for government. He's running for president. Does that make a good president? I'm not even gonna say his name. I say his name, then it triggers identities and people decide who they want to support. Don't feed the machine. Cynthia McKinney said it. Very, very powerful statement. In every way possible, pull yourself out of feeding the machine that chews up children and spits them out. And adults too. I'm not, I think about the adults too, but you gotta stop feeding the machine. All right, look at my YouTube comments here. That's not YouTube. So that was good this morning. That was delicious, and she just dropping the truth. What the heck? No, I don't want to see the commercial. How come I can't turn this commercial on? Man, boy, you just cannot get away from commercials on these devices. They start playing a commercial. You got the X, they take away the X, you can't press the X because I don't want to see the commercial. I really don't care. I want to buy whatever the hell you're selling. There we go. All right, there, YouTube comments up. Justin, what's going on, brother? Brother Kevin, good morning, good morning. All right, I think we're ready to go. We got most people in the house this morning. So that's how my morning started out. I was tired. I didn't want to watch a video at 7 o'clock in the morning, but it's Claudia and Cynthia McKinney. How can you say no? You got to jump in. Two of the most powerful sisters on this planet speaking truthful things. Not playing with y'all. So that's how I started out the day. But guess what? Last night, oh my goodness. In the background, I got to pull up this video. I got to show you a clip from this. Did y'all see that Graham Hancock was on Rogan again? Oh my goodness. Did y'all watch it? It is, I can't tell you how much I'm moved by like confirmation, right? Where you think of something and some of the greatest minds around the world are actually thinking the same way we're thinking. I think we're on it, y'all. I think we're gonna make it. I'm telling you, if you watched it, I think we're gonna make it. That's today's, what's it, Friday? Yeah, Monday, I'll be like, nope, we ain't gonna make it. Monday's the hashtag, we all gonna die. We just gonna die, we all gonna die, ain't nothing you can do about it. But no, Graham was on Joe Rogan. Powerful podcast. Because he swings at all angles. Like he swings at archaeology and, but he loves them. Swing with love. Let's just be honest. Let's tell the truth. Y'all ain't been telling the truth for a long time. What did he say that archaeology and science? Oh, I know he pissing people off. But he ain't not there to play with you. He said that the problem with archaeology, he said, is not a science. It's not a science. No, it's not. You don't have a scientific method that you follow as an entire group. What you are people who dig in the dirt and we love you to death. But damn it, if you ain't got the Denisoban bracelet, then you're going to lead us astray. Damn it, if you got a vaccine, you didn't do an epigenetic test to find out if any of your drugs alter genes, then it's not a science. I'm sorry, it's not a science. You might have some scientific-ish things that you do, but it's not a science. Not a science at all. And besides the fact, science is ever changing. It's never done. Science is never settled because the more you find out, the more you get to know. So it's never settled. It's a process. So you never get to a place where you say, we've got it figured out. You stinky human beings came from 98% monkeys. You evolved on this planet from primordial goo. You just say, you know what? We kind of think that this is the case, but we're not going to force it on anybody. And we're not going to force it on you because we really don't know for sure. We're going to stay calm. And that's the one thing they can't do around Graham Hancock is stay calm. Because Graham, he just pulls it out like, look at this, look at that, look at that. Boom, boom, boom. They say he was crazy. He was nuts. Scientific journals attacked him for years. They attacking him a lot less now. They don't never say they're wrong. They don't never say they're wrong. But he was swinging hard. I want to go to one portion of that clip from yesterday because it wasn't just attacking archaeology. It's not even about attacking. It's about having discourse, having logical discourse over important topics to try to get close to the truth. But every time I watch Graham Hancock, I tell you my favorite video is the last one. He's like Chris Hedges. I can't stand it. What's my favorite one? My favorite Graham Hancock lecture or talk is always the last one. Because you know when people are on it, he's not playing. By the way, he's in Canada, I think. He's doing 3 spots in Canada. He's gonna do 17 lectures, spots in America. Get there if you can be there. Brother ain't playing. So anyway, there's a lot of whole stuff I want to talk about. What's behind me? All right, this is the Denisoban bracelet. Where did this come from? This finally, somebody's already on it. I was having a discussion with a Russian friend. Nope. Y'all saw the word Russian. I thought you wanted to, and you're not on it. Hang on. This is the Denisoban bracelet. So this is the bracelet they found from the people who couldn't exist with technology that take to drill this mineral that they didn't have to drill a hole from a tool that they couldn't possibly have 40,000 years ago that they found in 2010. And guess what? 2017, they did another study and they found out the bracelet's 60,000 years old. Woo! At least. So why is that important? Well, one, like Graham said in the interview yesterday, he had a whole bunch of points. When you realize they're wrong, your establishment's been lying to you about one important thing, then it creates groups of people who question everything. He talked about how people come up to him and they say, oh my goodness, you changed my life. These young people, these millennials, the people in archaeology school, is there such a thing as archaeology school? You changed my life. People from all different industries actually, and he changed my life to a degree. Because when you start to really question significantly the people that author everything, then you realize they're lying about a whole lot more. Like when you can catch them in one major lie or something that they just don't know, could be ignorance, then there's less support for everything else they say. And I think that's how you get to a place of questioning everything. So he just had too many deep points. I want to take you to one of them. So one of the reasons why this Denisoban bracelet is so important is because the drill that made that hole was over 65,000 years, and they say it was made with a high-speed bit. High-speed bit. This is people who had grass skirts and they was armpits funky stanky. Just couldn't possibly do any of this. None of this technology existed, right? Because we came from cavemen. So not only is it like 40,000, 30,000, 40,000 years older than what it can be, it's made with a technology that was lost, that nobody knows what it is. I can get into theories about where the hell this bracelet came from. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just gonna simply say interesting, highly interesting. Question everything. Keep calm. Don't fall into your hubris. Question everything. Question everything. That's the only way we get anywhere decent and have true discourse over factual information. My mind is going so many different places. I was with Del Bigtree, was on yesterday. Oh man, that brother, he was on it too. Oh, he was on it. Oh, he's on it. I think we're winning, y'all. Today is Friday. I think we're winning. So let me, because there was another thing that Graham talked about. Let me go into my history real quick. Another thing he was hitting it. It wasn't just about the Denisobans. He was hitting on a lot of things. It wasn't just about how finding out authority is lying and always has lied and always gonna keep lying, that you should not keep cheering this nonsense of a system. We need to get rid of it. I don't want to spoil it. I'm gonna let him say it. I gotta let Graham say it. The way he says things is just precise. I don't want to spoil it. It's just when you come to the same understanding with geniuses, it can't be too far from the truth. People all over this planet came to the same understanding. I think it's right about here is where I want to start, right about here.
Not enforcing your ideas or pushing them on other people and forcing people to behave the way you behave, but instead love.
And think about religious ideas, which cause so much division, so much chaos, so much hatred, so much fear, so much suspicion in the world today. Is it really what we want to do as human beings? Simply to accept a package of ideas that were believed in by our ancestors, to accept them whole, without question, as absolute fact, which we regard as such authoritative fact that in some cases we're willing to be deeply unpleasant to people who hold different views, or perhaps even kill them. We've had this recent event in Sri Lanka, primarily a religiously motivated terrorist event. It happens all over the world, that people feel so convinced that the inherited package of ideas that they had nothing to do with creating and that they have never questioned, they're so convinced that those ideas are right that in extreme cases they're actually prepared to kill other human beings who hold different ideas. Are they so insecure in their own beliefs that they're prepared to go to that level of actually murdering another human being who holds it? They're so threatened by the other beliefs that other human beings hold. So it's an abnegation.
I gotta stop there because I almost crashed on this one. I was driving, and when he said that, the lights were like bing, 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 bing. The lights started coming on. Of course, I was making posts. My lights come on. I do not hold it back. Insecurity. So what he's talking about? He's talking about the bombing, right? He's talking about the bombing in Sri Lanka. And what he's explaining is that you're born. And you were born into this birth area, this birth family, and they got a religion, they got a place that they live, they got a something, whatever, and they have no idea damn what they're talking about. You have no damn idea what you're talking about. You have no empirical evidence of your religion and being true. None at all. But you are so insecure, you are so lacking in faith in whatever they give you that you wholeheartedly, wholesale take and put in your heart and go to every Sunday, Saturday, get your tithes and all that, whatever. You so don't believe in it. And insecure that you're willing to murder other people. I was on it. I didn't even know what I posted. I was driving my truck like, oh my God, he's right. Like, cause what religious conflict is? What is religious conflict? It actually is a conflict of people who have no faith. It's a conflict. It's people who have so little faith in what they beat you over the head with that they're willing to kill other people who don't have the belief. They're willing to bring violence and defy everything that God thing taught to force someone else to accept their belief because they have so little faith in it. I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. But all right, this is not about a religion. I don't want to get into the religion. It's the tribalism thing, and it's this birth bigotry. Like, you're born into this thing and you think you're right, but you have no idea that you're right. Good morning, Leanne from Australia. Good day, mate. Good day, mate. Did I say that right? Leanne, did that sound right? Good day, mate. I'm every morning we go walk about. I don't know what kind of accent that was. Good morning, sister. And listen, why I call you sister? I've never met you in my life. You are kin to me. Why are you kin to me? Because you're one of my distant cousins from across the pond. The only difference is I got to deal with garden snakes. You got to deal with crocodiles. That's the only difference. But we share ancestors. We share the ancestors, the Neanderthals, because everybody's walking around, was it 4 to 5% Neanderthal DNA? So we're all related, all around this planet. We're one big family. Why'd I focus on Leanne? Leanne jumped in and said, hey, good day, mates, I'm from Australia. Why? Because this is the topic. This is the point. This is the worldwide discourse we got to have, and this is what Graham Hancock is talking about. If you were born in Australia, it's not okay to murder people in America because they were born differently. If you're born in America, it's stupid to murder people in Australia because they were born in a different country. how dumb this is. And he was kind of explaining the point of why he doesn't believe in nationalism from that perspective. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to say is keep calm. We know less than what we think we know. Just because somebody was born in another place in another religion is not a good reason to kill them. But not only that, if you got to use violence, it just means that you have so little faith in your God that you're willing to use force and hurt somebody because it's some sort of an insecurity thing in what you're trying to put out. But the other side of what he's saying is we're given these things. Right? There are things we know to be empirically true, and there are things that we don't. We lie to ourselves about the things we have empirical truth, empirical evidence that we know is a fact, and the things that we were born in that we wish to believe. And there's nothing wrong with belief. I'm not an attack religion guy. It's not me at all, because I have my own faith. I don't really know what to call it, because I don't want to be affiliated with killers. But I have my own faith. But my faith is for me. So anyway, let me get with it, because what's powerful is Graham spends a lot of time on archaeology and ancient civilizations, and he went into psychedelics and a bunch of other delicious stuff. But what's powerful is now he's talking about this geopolitical thing that needs to go away, that we need to grow up and mature.
Of our responsibility as human beings. We should be questioning things. We should not be accepting packages of ideas intact, fully formed, and using them to drive the way we behave towards one another. That was part of the human story, but we need to move on from that. I mean, it's a very dangerous situation in a very complex modern world with billions of human beings on the planet to have these kind of energies being generated where certain groups of people are saying, we are absolutely right and you are absolutely wrong. We are superior, you are inferior. This is a very, very dangerous path that we're on, and it needs to be changed. Personally, I know this is not a comment that will go down well with many people, but I am strongly opposed to nationalism. I don't see any virtue in nationalism. It is an accident of birth, which nation you were born in. It was nothing that you did for your own merit. You didn't earn that. You were born by accident in a particular nation. Why should we automatically feel that other people who were born by accident in that particular nation have something special in common with us, and that we together are a group who are much more important than other groups of people? I've been privileged to spend my life traveling around the world, living with communities all over the world. And one thing that really comes across to me strongly, it should be a cliche, and yet it's not, is that we are all one family, that humans are intimately interconnected all around the world, that you can go to the remotest area of the Amazon jungle and find the same hopes, the same fears, the same dreams that we have in industrialized cities shared by the hunter-gatherers in the middle of the Amazon. So our similarities as human beings and what we share in common at the emotional level and at the level of love and at the level of heart are far more important than our differences that are defined by the nation or the political group in which we grew up in. And when I say I'm against nationalism, I need also to make clear that does not mean, and I hope I'm not taken out of context by others who are listening to this, that does not mean I'm in favor of world government. I detest governments. That's another...
It's about to get real. Hold on, wait. You know what? Before he's about to... I love it. In about 4 minutes, he explained everything that I took damn 5,000 videos to try to say. Powerful. Before he gets onto the next swing, because you know that's Graham. He ain't here to play with you. He is here to tell you exactly how he sees it. This idea that we should divide up on the little insignificant things for governments as opposed, because of where we're born, as opposed to focus on the powerful things that we have between us, the things that we have in common. Why in the world should I be more allied to my neighbor than to somebody across the planet? We got into it yesterday. I was upset. I was man. I didn't have it with your cults. Please put your leader cults away. Put your leader cults away. So I was running with Brother Walter and running down the thread and people talking about, listen, all right, this man running for government. Stop following him like he's a cult. He's not God, Jesus Christ, come again. He took a lot of money for murdering children on the other side of the planet. So obviously he's not picking up what Graham Hancock is putting down. He's not picking up on the spiritual energy around this world that we need to be loving each other. Because if you take money from the military-industrial complex to murder people, how good are you really? I don't want to hear, oh, he changed, he's different now. Okay, I'm glad he is, love him to death, pray for him. But the reality is he did. So he should not be modeling anything in government. He needs to be in an institution somewhere with a straitjacket with the rest of his brothers and sisters in Washington that are murdering people around this planet. So Graham is putting down some real powerful things. If you're picking it up, Sister Susan said something I think Susan said it. I want to focus on. She said, I'm in the church. Who's that? Susan Worcester said, I'm in the church of Susan. And that's where you need to be. You need to be in the church of you. Who we got up in this room? Sissy, you need to be in your own church. Daniel, you need to be in your own church. Ronald needs to be in his own church. We need, Kevin, Augusta, you need to be in your own church. Why? Because you are a powerful creature and nobody even knows what the hell you are. Nobody behind no pulpit knows what you are, and nobody knows what's coming through to you from other realms. Nobody has any clue what you're supposed to do or where you're supposed to go. That's okay to look at all these scriptures. It's okay to go to church. I'm fine with that. Get the choir, faint church, do whatever you want to do. You know, because if that helps you find where you're supposed to go and who you're supposed to be based on the communications from some God thing or multi-dimensional psychedelic creatures from other planets or other dimensions or whatever, some fat dude in a cloud with a white beard, good with all that. Nobody has more interface with that thing than you. And if you think there's nothing, nobody controls your sovereignty more than you. So you should be exploring you. You should be in the church of you and love the church of everybody else. Why would you want to kill? Why would you be okay killing other people? Somebody said, well, this leader is the best chance we got. Really? Bernie Sanders is the best chance we got. Somebody who took money from the military-industrial complex to murder and genocide children. If that's the best chance we got, kill us all now. Let the flood come, let the waters just blow the whole place up now. No, the best chance we got now is a worldwide stand down. It's time for the conflict to end. We don't need government. I'm telling you secrets to the test. Let me shut up. What I'm saying though is powerful because this is what we've been saying. And people, they lash back, but anarchy is so bad. We need government. We need the plantation. We need Massa. Massa take care of us. Massa good to us. No, Massa don't take care of you. Massa ain't good to you. Massa keeps you working. And when the time comes, Massa gonna let you die. As above, so below. As a little plantation, so the big plantation. And that's all government is. It's a plantation. All right, look at this. Listen to this. And this is not an anti-Sanders thing. I'm not anti-Sanders. I have nothing against the man. I have everything against what the man does. I have nothing against Trump. I have a lot against what he does. I have nothing against Obama. I have a lot against what he does. Why? Because I'm related to the people that they murder. And it's that simple. I want the church of all the children that they murdered, I want them to come forward, figure out who they are, evolve and grow into something fantastical, and become an adult and share that beauty with the world. But they don't. But I have to accept that they were born in a place and they went into careers and they, like Cynthia McKinney was talking about this morning, you get into Washington and you realize that you're just to speak about humanity, you gotta be rogue because you're surrounded by all these psychopathic killers who are just, they believe in the system, a lot of them. They just believe in it. They're taking the money. They believe in the system. But if you were them, you would probably do what they did. But that does not mean I need to support them. It means that I need to be opposed to them. I need to get up every morning and fight the good fight. Not worried about whether I win or not worried about whether or not people show up with me. She said there was one thing on Congress they used to do. Well, if we get 10 people, we'll get in there and we'll get it done. We'll protest it. And it's like, why do we need 10 people to protest? You by yourself are a powerful creature all by your damn self. Just because you got 10 people doesn't make it right. You got 11 doesn't make it righter. If it's right with one person, it's right. You protest, you act like you're supposed to do. Don't worry about who else is coming. Let me let Graham finish because he's going to bring it home with the last bottom.
Other thing we need to grow out of. We don't need governments anymore. If we have them, they should have a very minimal role in our society. I think it's possible for the human race to relate as one family without leaders and governments who are exploiting the worst aspects of our character, the lowest common denominator of our society, deliberately encouraging fears and hatreds and suspicion. What responsible leaders should be doing is encouraging love and unity.
I gotta stop. So what he's saying there is it not true that your government, I don't know about your government, I know mine, what they utilize most in people is the worst things. what the tools they leverage, the things they bring out in my family and friends that still believe in the kill system, they still believe in a murder GDP. They bring out their fears. They don't bring out the good things. They don't talk about love and let's take care of everybody and kumbaya and let's get everybody healthy. No, they talk about let's keep the healthcare system. Let's get everybody sick care. Let's get everybody disease care. Let's get everybody the drugs they need. Let's not heal them. Let's just give them what keeps letting big corporations who buy the government make money because that's what they're paid to do. They try to get into your fears. They'll tell you what's great about them. They don't do like Cynthia McKinney and show you their life, or like Claudia, I'm living peaceful. I'm living calm. I got a sustainable life. I'm not feeding the machine. They just want to make big money. But they bring out the worst in you. They bring out the fears. They tell you need to be fearful of the other side. They're evil. Donald Trump is a monster. And just Donald Trump is just a guy. He's just a guy like any other guy, born in another place. So like, why would you hate somebody else for where they're born? Because that's what politics are based in now, is taking the worst aspects of your humanity and leveraging it against your better interest, and mostly against the interest of the future generation. Listen to this man talk.
And their failure to do that, in my view, disqualifies them from the leadership role entirely. And that's why I've often said I would like to see a situation in which no head of state can be appointed to that position unless he or she has first had 12 sessions of ayahuasca.
All right, so I can go there. You don't know what ayahuasca is. Just pretend you ain't hear that part, because that'll trigger some of your bigotries. Don't worry about that part. This kind of equates to what we talk about brain scans. You know how we say that all public officials need to have brain scans? Like we need to know, use the MRI device, that the love and empathy, the fear and aggression, parts of their brain are doing what we need them to do to model the new world, right? That they get disqualified, what he just said, that you should be disqualified if you actually aren't a human being, if you have no humanity, if you can look the other way. Powerful things. But this synced up with what Cynthia McKinney was saying this morning. It was beautiful. Beautiful, because at some point she was saying, at some point, when does, okay, let me walk it the right way. The politician supports the warlords. The warlords are raping entire towns of women. The politicians are making sure they got all the guns, tanks, bombs, everything that they need to continue to rape more towns of women. At what point is that politician a war criminal? And then she made a powerful point. She said, at what point are people who vote for them war criminals? I mean, think about it. It's not too big of a jump. I like to go to the most horrendous thing that we can think of. And to me, in my mind, that's violating somebody. It's taking something, putting your thingy in some other sovereign creature, violating them with your thingy. Whether that be a vaccine needle or a penis, same damn thing to me. You're not supposed to violate people at all, ever. It's a violation in terms of a crime, not in terms of being the same thing. I don't like to categorize anything rape because that's just beyond. But at what point? At what point? Where does complicity stop? At what point? When are you supporting of it? Why do we draw that line at the politician and say the politician is the war criminal, then we stop there? And we don't go into the supporters. Because all the politicians are doing, they look nice. They don't carry guns. They're cowards. They just got pens. They just sign bills and sign laws and vote for every single war. I'm not going to say his name, because y'all in a cult and y'all love him. But they just sign a name. But they're just supporting the warlords doing the raping. They're not actually raping themselves. They're not actually murdering children. They're not actually going up in the airplanes and dropping the bombs. Where is that accountability even start and stop? I think it goes the whole way. Once again, if you are in the tribe, you will have tribal conflict, because they will grab your insecurities. And then that takes me back to religion and this whole scripture, have fear in God. What do most pastors and ministers do? The ones that are supporting the murder of God's children all over this planet. They use your fear. They use what's worse than you to drive you. God's not going to bless you if you don't send me the money. Think about that for a minute. Just process that. God is not going to bless you. A God that hates banks, a God that can't stand money, a God that doesn't like government at all, just stayed away from Caesar, just didn't want Caesar breathing anywhere it was. And so God isn't going to bless you if you don't have a bank account, a job, got money, and send it to me. So you need to fear God and send me your money. Think about that. Is a politician too much different from that? All right, I'm sorry. All right, again, I'm not attacking religion. I'm just saying, think. And this is why I love Graham Hancock, because he's off in ancient archaeology. He's showing us these things, and he was talking about the Denisoban bracelet and the power tools used to drill it, how we really don't know anything. We're a species with amnesia, and we need to keep looking back. Like if you are a religious person, if you truly have faith, you truly have faith in this God thing, that there's a God thing out there, you should want to know what that God thing is more than you should want to know what your pastor wants you to do. You should want to know what that God thing is more than you want King James to tell you what the word of God is. You want to know what the actual words from God's are. And the words from God's are in the soil. They're in the soil. Literally in the soil. In Sumerian tablets, in the tablets of the ancients, the book of Thoth, the book of the dead, all of the hermetic practices that are in the roots of all religions. We know there's a root religion, and it ain't being practiced in America. It's not in the church, not in Australia, Britain either. It's not in any of the temples or churches. Those are just the control structures keeping you from the actual truth back to the root. And this is why I love Graham Hancock. But let him finish. I'm blown away by it, because how when people start to look at all of these different things, they all start to link together in this powerful place. Why in the hell do we still have government? Why are we still so de-evolved? Why do we embrace this slave mentality that we need somebody with a whip to keep beating us? We need someone to pay taxes to. We need someone to tell us how to live our lives. We need someone to put all our children in prison if they don't obey the rules of corporations. We need these. All right, I'm preaching. I'm sorry. Listen to this, man.
That would be the condition. Don't even bother applying for the job if you haven't done this.
And we have to be there where you have it.
And we want to see that you're drinking every drop. Yes. And we want an experienced shaman present who's really going to guide you through the journey. And I suspect that would be a transformative experience for many of our political class, and that they would start to question why they do what they do, why they exploit fears in order to magnify their own position. They'd start to question that and to wonder about a different destiny for humanity. But that's a dream. I guess it's not going to happen.
It's very, very, very well.
All right, I'm going to stop. I'm not going to go any further with that. You got to watch the whole thing. It's another powerful podcast by Joe Rogan. I know I got Joe Rogan up there. People going, where they at? They're coming.
Joe Rogan is a gatekeeper. Joe Rogan is controlled opposition. Joe Rogan.
That's why people, I don't understand. I love y'all to death, but I really don't get you. I don't get how your brains work at all. Never shoot the messenger. Focus on the message. Focus on the message. Focus on the message. Powerful statements, powerful comments. You need to watch the whole thing. It's 3 hours. It's worth it though. Like if you're really interested in like mind expansion, because this is what he's talking about when it comes to ayahuasca and DMT. And I've never done a psychedelic in my life. I don't know that I need to. I know that I've had transcendent events focusing and meditating. I can't explain them. I'm not going to tell you that I know how to get you there or anything like that. I've just had times when I focused on things and I just felt something different. I saw something different. I never went and saw the blue people with the polka dots and the dancing mushrooms. I can't say I went to that land, but I felt that there was something beyond that. And what he was explaining earlier in the video, he was talking about when he went to an ayahuasca ceremony. Not ayahuasca, peyote, Native Americans. And he said, they had the drums going in the teepee. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. That sound racist? I don't know. I got Cherokee relatives. I think I'm allowed to do that. Is that cultural appropriate? I honestly don't care because I'm related to all of them, so I don't give a damn what you say about your cultural appropriation. I joke about everything and I love everything. But he said, just looking into the fire. everybody in the tent, 40 people. You got the person stoking the fire, the person doing this, and the other person getting the peyote ready, whatever. I'm not even sure it's called peyote. But they're getting it together, and he said, just focusing in the fire, you already start to feel where you're going. You already start to get there. So, his point was like these things, ayahuasca and DMT and these mushrooms, they're just technology, right? They're technology for mind expansion. Because what they do is they take you to this place, and people debate whether they take you to a place or you all imagine it. I'll leave that up to you to figure out what you think it is. But the point is that it gets you to question reality. And there's nothing more powerful than questioning reality, right? Because if what you see isn't real, why would you believe it? If what your parents gave you wasn't empirical in your religion and your God, why would you? If what your parents gave you empirically wasn't true, that there actually are babies that live in Yemen, there are children that live in the West Bank, there are children that live in Israel, there are children that live in countries all over this planet that actually just want to grow up and live in a world because they're trusting that the adults in their world are building something beautiful for them, that they'll actually have freedom and liberty and be able to live their lives. How sorry it is to be the kids of the current generation, the current evil, lost generation. And so the whole point of those is saying that government should partake in these things because it gets them to even question this model. Maybe we don't have to murder people to survive. Maybe everybody's not out to get us. Maybe nature isn't out to kill us. Maybe we don't have to go kill other countries and steal what they got. Maybe we can use what's best in people. And this is why questioning everything is so important. This is why I say keep calm. Keep calm. Keep calm. I'm not preaching this morning. I just had a little too much coffee. Keep calm. Remember, we don't know as much as we think we know. We never do. And never be so hubristically, narcissistically insecure that you ever would think you were right enough to force it on somebody else. Powerful, powerful points. But that's what I think. I think religious conflict is what all conflict is. It's a conflict of narcissistic, insecure people. People who will use violence like a raper uses rape to control somebody else because they got major insecurities and they need to be in a straitjacket institution somewhere. That's what I think. All right. Let me read comments and we're gonna roll. But hey, somebody said post a podcast. I'll post a podcast. You gotta watch it though. Gotta watch it. I'm telling you, Graham Hancock, you just need to process. Let the man talk and process. But he'll give you enough evidence on these parts in ancient archaeology to realize that what we're being told is not the truth. You can debate as to why, whether the CIA is after the old technology, they're trying to keep God from people, they just want to keep people believing the Bible is the word of God or the Quran was finished. You can process it however you want, but he puts information out there in such a overwhelming way that makes it obvious that what we know is true. And if there's a Denisoban bracelet that's out there from all these different homos everywhere, everybody homos everywhere. They discover new homos. I say it that way for a reason. Yes, I do. Because you need to love all the homos, all these hominids from everywhere, all the human beings, all of the different cultures that we don't even know exist yet because we've been lied to about history, because this planet flips over every couple thousand years and murders everybody and wipes away all the technology. We need to be the one generation that figures out that we're always played into these conflicts because we're bigots of our birth. We need to stop being. But if there is a Denisoban bracelet out there that's got a drill hole that's made from a high-speed drill, the technology that should not exist at that time, then we have no idea what's going on. And we need to keep calm and stop the conflicts. All right, we'll do comments and I'm gonna get out of here. But I'll post it. I want you to watch it. It blew me away. He said so much. It's just so much. Like, I just kept restarting it. I had to kept going back 5 minutes because I was missing points. When you listen to Graham Hancock, you got to take notes. You just literally, because the man, his brain goes so fast. All right. Anyway, here we go. I had a 5 a.m. West Coast watch party for Claudia and Cynthia. Well, I thank you, Patricia, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you standing up for the little children in this world. The woman talked about some very powerful things. Sometimes you got to get up early. I was going to do something else, but Claudia and Cynthia was coming on, so I had to put it on, and that's who I spent the morning with. Brother Michael, Susan's telling Michael, I don't trust most humans, but I do trust myself. And Susan, you shouldn't. You shouldn't trust any human. You know the way I kind of think about it, Susan. I trust people for what they're good with. If I got a babysitter, I don't have one now, but if I had one at the time I had babies, right now I got babies. Right now I got little funky things with mustaches and deep voices. They don't like to take trash out. But if I had babies, I have a babysitter. Babysitter good at babysitting, absolutely. But do you ask your babysitter to do your taxes? Right? You got a tax person, right? They do your taxes. Do you ask your tax person to babysit? They haven't asked your tax person if taxes should exist, right? Go to a police officer. Do you hand them the mail and say, hey, mail this? Do you go to the postman? And when somebody's robbing your house, do you call the postman? No, you trust certain people with what they're good for. You trust certain systems with what they're good for. And you don't trust them with what they fail at. So no, I don't trust anybody, but I trust people with certain aspects. And you sent my mind in a certain place. Do we trust government? The government. Do they do a good job at it? Think about that. Right? Do we trust Bernie Sanders, and Trump, May, and Merkel, and Obama, Clinton, all of them? ACO, what's that? IOC, ICO, whatever that little girl name is. She's about 14 in the Congress. Do we trust them with things they can't be trusted with? People say, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I gotta vote for somebody. How about not voting for the system? That's a vote. Not voting for the system. None of the above. That's a vote. I don't have a name of somebody we can't trust on it. But when people do things you can't trust, you're not supposed to trust them anymore. And this is why, oh man, the talk was just so powerful. Because when you can link up spirituality, seeking the real God, not the King James God, not your pastor's God, not your minister's God, not your conservative's God, not your Obama's God, not the Republican God or the Democrat God. But when you can actually seek God and see how ancient archaeology and all of this ties in with getting rid of politics and getting rid of this government idea, getting rid of this nationalism idea, getting rid of all of these bad ideas that we know we can't trust because they end up murdering our family somewhere else in the world, if not next door. Trust, that's a powerful thing. Powerful thing. Totally gross. Look at Jim Baker. Yeah, exactly, Susan. That's why you have to look at the good examples. Can you trust these models that create Jim Bakers? Can you trust the models that create these politicians? Can you trust the model that create cults and their cult followings? They're cult followings. You're out there talking to them like, listen, y'all people, you're in a cult. You're in a cult. I know these leaders, these politicians have cults, and you're in it. And the worst thing that people do, the thing that they can't do when they're in a cult, is they can't see the cult leader raping little kids, right? They don't see it. They pass right by it because they've already convinced themselves that their cult is correct. They've already convinced themselves that their cult is right. They've already convinced themselves that the others are evil, which means that they must be good. They've already convinced themselves. So when they see the little girls go back there in the Catholic Church and the priests take them in the back, the little boys, they don't see it. They don't see it. And that's what we were going on, that massive thread. Just giving the evidence. This man has been voting for war. This man's been taking the money of war. This man is a warmonger, but he talks like he's a man of peace. He's lying to you. And you try to wake people up from the cult, like you try to have these interventions, and people don't really seem to get that. Like they'll go to these threads and social media and they'll think, oh, it's an argument. No, it's not. It's called an intervention. When the person is giving you truthful information, it's called an intervention on truthful discourse. We are trying to wake people up out of a cult that literally murders people. No different. No different. Whether you murder people with a Pentagon or you murder them with a knife over a bowl with a chicken and some blood, same damn thing. Your prophet is a following because you're doing the murder, because you're brainwashing the people. All right, I don't want to talk about government and cults. We're going into 2020, and Graham Hancock, he's lining it up. We need to grow up past this. We need to grow out of this. How long have we been a slave species? Begging begging to have masters, picking and choosing who gets to be the master, who gets to link us up in the shackles, who gets to chain up our children. When are we going to fight for freedom? When are we going to stand up for freedom? And that's the great thing. It's not even a fight. It's just a stand down. Practice what's in your heart. Practice is in your heart. Exactly. Practice in your heart. Look in your mirror. You know, that's how you change the world. You change the world in your own mirror. Absolutely. Totally agree. Read your Bible's instructions. It has nothing to do with religion. Exactly, sissy. It's just information. It's just information. You own that scripture as much as everybody else. That is not owned by no church. Those are scriptures that they took out of the Library of Alexandria, and Moses took out of the Naga text, and they took from the Greeks and the Sumerian writings and some of the Sumerian tablets and the Hebrew, and they put them in a book. They don't belong to them. Truth belongs to the human race, and it belongs to everybody. Read it. Read the Quran too. Read it. Study and show yourself approved, as that scripture says. We need someone to pay taxes. We need someone to pay taxes, says the wealthy, because I am not paying taxes and I am the largest welfare recipient of the wealthiest. I just went up. I don't believe in taxes. Well, you know, but the thing is, you got to figure out how to pay them. I met somebody the other day. They're like, my brother ain't paid taxes in years. I'm like, okay, if that's how you fight the machine, get to it. Get to it. But just remember, you got something called the IRS and they got SWAT teams. They will. Wesley Snipes, can he get back in the country? Everybody, you know, fight the system in the way you want to fight it. That's not the particular way I'm fighting it, you know. But everybody's got to, you know, based on where you are and what your experiences are, you fighting that way. Like Cynthia McKinney, you know, it just so happens that Democrats and Republicans chased her out of the country because she realized that you saw hate with love. They got her the hell out of there. Unfortunately, a real person snuck in the federal government. And they can't have that. They cannot have a real person with warm blood beating through their heart in that. She ran out of there, and she doesn't support the machine, and she's fighting in her own way. Let me see. Don't like Joe. Don't care. Stop judging others. Damn. Oh, okay. I know. Y'all talking about Joe Biden? I don't know. Hey, Joe Biden, same thing. Same thing. I don't hate the guy. I don't know the guy. I'm indifferent. Like I'm hate Joe agnostic. I just know that he's a part of a system that murders children. So he should not be modeling the world. He should not be there. You know, there shouldn't be anybody. If there's somebody in the federal government that's yelling and screaming, stop killing children, just yell it out the building right now. Show me the video. Show me the video. If you can show me somebody that's been head out, stop raping women, stop giving guns to the warlords, destroying towns and murdering children and burning up entire countries. When you show me the person in the federal government doing that, then I say, well, maybe we got one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But until then, they're all a part of a system that embrace things that we as citizens don't even do. We don't do these things to our worst enemies, right? What do we do to our worst enemies? Yell and scream at them because they cut you off while you were driving. Like, cuss and yell and throw them a finger or whatever, but that's it. You don't go invade their house and murder their children, steal their wife and steal their TV. You don't do what these monsters do. So why in the hell are you still supporting them? What is going on in your brain that you think that this is okay? That's what just boggles my mind. Let me see. Could you touch on the subject of housing and other costs of living are getting out of control? Been looking for a room to rent, and I frequently see ads for rooms for $700 a month. I work for someone. I work with someone. Housing, Rob, is easy. Housing is very easy. Housing is very easy. Show me somebody in the federal government that's sticking their head out the window yelling, houses are actually free. China built houses for the people. We can build houses for everybody. You can make a hemp house with a robot. We can 3D print houses. There are 12 companies doing that. What we need to do is take some of this war industrial complex money we use to murder children and print houses for Brother Rob and everybody else that needs a house. We can do that for you. We're your government. We love you. We're not going to talk about healthcare. We're not going to talk about giving you more money so you can buy expensive, unsustainable, toxic houses. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to fund one of these companies to print the houses so human beings born in our country that are our citizens, because we love them, and we're going to make sure they have a room, a roof over their head. Show me one. Show me. Everybody show me one. I just want to say, somebody show me one. I don't see any of your 2020s doing that. None of them. Nil. Housing is very easy. It is your right, Brother Rob, as a human being born on this planet to have a house. Why do I know that? Because do rabbits have houses? Do rabbits have to ask the rabbit federal government for houses? No, they don't. Why? They all have the ability to. They're not slaves. They're not enslaved to these murderers and monsters and psychopaths that will not let children have a roof over their head, that will let, was it half of the homeless in the United States are single parents with children? They don't give two damns. Two damns. And I had to correct the stat I gave yesterday. I think I said something like 20% of the people in in the UK are homeless. That's not true. That's fake news. Hashtag fake news. The homelessness in the UK is up by 21% or 21%, I think is what it is. And it's just, it makes no sense. It's the same thing all over the world. Why are housing prices so high, Brother Rob? Because it upsets you, right? It upsets you because you actually don't want to be out in the rain. And that creates conflict. And then people with houses, they'll say things like, well, get a job, bum. That's your fault. And brother, you were just born in a place and you didn't have the privilege to make that. It didn't work out that way. But it creates this conflict. Well, I did it. I got my house. You go get yours. Outside of the fact that you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, you went to high school, college, you didn't have to go to the store and steal your shoes and get a record. You didn't have to go to the store and steal bananas so you and your little brother could eat. I worked hard for this. No, you didn't. It actually was handed to you. You literally are, all right, let me be nice. Keep calm. Keep calm. That's the title. Keep calm. Realize that there's always other sides to the story that we don't know. Keep calm and realize that the solutions aren't being handed down by government because the government doesn't want to solve anything. When you have an oligarchy, they make money on not solving problems. They make money on taking problems, making you more pissed off about them, and then making not solving them a legislation to make big corporations money. That's how it works. So yeah, we talk about housing. I don't like either sides of the debate. It's stupid. You got robots and automation that can build everybody in the world a house. We're not doing it. I bet if the rabbits had a federal government, I bet you the rabbits would do it. I bet you if the mice, if they had a federal government, the mice would do it. I bet you if the cockroaches, they had a federal government, the cockroach federal government would make sure every cockroach has a house. I bet you they would. Something wrong with these monsters. I'm trying to tell you. And they're getting worse. They're not getting better. They're not getting worse. As George Carlin said, it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because I was on a thread yesterday and I was on there with the Bernie Cole people. I was on the thread with, and I listened to everything the Bernie Cole people were saying. I didn't read every post, but I read enough posts to know you need to be saving seeds. You need to be buying some land, and you need to learn how to take care of yourself because when this thing falls, it's going to hurt. The cults are going to guarantee they're going to make it so bad that this thing is going to collapse. Human race is just in this direction and they're racing to extinction and they don't want to stop it. All right. I gotta get out of here a little bit. Dang it, I had a cold stop. Let me do the last couple comments. I'm running. Fear sells stuff. Yes, it does, Sissy. It sells big time. That's why they do it. That's why we say don't be scared. Don't be scared. As long as you're scared, people will control you. They'll use your childish, immature fears against you. We need to be scared of Trump. Why would you be scared of Trump? Somebody tell me one thing that Trump did that Obama didn't do. Say it. I want to hear it. Somebody tell me, we got to get Trump out. And that's what they said yesterday. Oh, well, you're just against Bernie because you want to keep Trump. No, I'm actually against Bernie and Trump. I'm against everything that they do. Not them. I don't know them. But everything that they do is insentient. It's not sensitive. It's not evolved. And if either one of them actually wants to do good, and deep down, I honestly think that these people aren't as crazy as they act. I honestly think that they don't want to do these things. But the system, it's the model that doesn't work. Focus on the model. It doesn't matter who's in government. But you just cheering in your cult cheers for these people to be reelected, stay in, or get in, it convinces the people who really control everything that it's still working. As long as it's still working, we're gonna keep putting oil on the cult machine. We're gonna keep putting oil in this controlling the human race project because it works. That's why they do it. That's the only reason they do it, because you're still posting your war criminal psychopaths that take money to murder people. You're still happy with them. As long as you're happy with them, the plantation ain't going nowhere. Colonization will not stop. All right, no, don't be quiet, Miss T. Keep going. I see you, girl. Tell me be quiet now. I can't read all of it. I can't read all of that, Miss T. No, keep talking, because they saved the post. The post, your comments are gonna be there. A lot of times I'll go back, I'll read them later. I just can't read the books. I can't read the long comments while I'm here because the light is in my eye. To do this, I'm like destroying my eyes. And so I feel like I'm illiterate. I'm trying to read something in my eyes. All right. So I can't read the long posts, but short comments. But the long ones people go back and read later. And plus people watch this stuff later. So don't stop. Keep going with it. Let me see, 42 million poor and homeless in the U.S. alone. Exactly, Miss T. Exactly. And where is the politician in the federal government with their head out the building screaming, the people in the building, psychopaths, 42 million people homeless. I'm here to help you. I'm here, your government. I'm your government. I'm here to help you. Where is that politician? Where is that politician whose brain is functioning, where they got compassion and love and empathy and thinking about the poor children in America born in trailer parks, the poor children born in the ghetto. They ain't got no pot to piss in. They ain't got no food or nothing, so they got to join a gang to be safe just to get to school or just to get some food. Where is that politician? Where's that politician that's yelling and screaming, there are babies in Yemen that were starving today, literally. We need to stop it. The building is full of psychopaths. Get me the hell out of here. Where's that Cynthia McKinney at today? Where? Nowhere in Washington, because they don't let them in. They don't let them in. All right, let me see. Everything is a cult that is a low vibe mind control program. Yes, exactly. And they keep people going on it. Good morning. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, but I'm trying to get out of here. I got a hard stop. I got to get running. Yes, everybody needs the truth, so there's no more mind control zombies. Right, Susan? And some people will hold on to it, and that's okay. Yeah, we used to be that way. I used to be in the cult. Girl, I was Susan. I was in the cult. You couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell. You post all the truth you want. I don't see it. Just like this. I was just like this. We need to free the black people. We need to black. I couldn't see nothing. I was in the cult. I was just apathetic to other things. I was indifferent. I was a bigot, complete 100% in the cult. Because I believed all the things I was fed as a child, all the lies and all the selectivism, all of the bigotry they fed me. Because all sides are always full of bigots. You know, and that's why all you can do is just love people in the cult. All you can do, you post the truth. The people who have eyes to see will accept it. The ones that don't know, the people who have hearts to feel it, they'll feel it. The people who have the brains that can contemplate the details that you're giving them, that will click, the people with the patience that give a damn enough to click the link and go watch a lecture and have explained to them, to click a link and go over to the CIA, the FBI website and look at the declassified information, freedom of information. The people who will go pick up a John Perkins book and read it, Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Those are the people that you're out there for. You're not out there for the cult people. You love them, but you don't worry about it. Because sometimes all it takes is one person. Just wake up one person and amazing things can happen with just one person. So you just keep at it. Keep at it. Fadia said, Marianne Williamson 2020. Well, Fadia, I can't agree with you. I love you to death. Can't agree with you. Can't agree. The problem isn't Marianne Williamson. She might be a wonderful person. I like the things that she says. However, we always like the things that they say, but they get in office and we don't have a like-sensitive system. You get them in, they'll be surrounded by hundreds of the most powerful people in the world who don't take no for an answer. And she will do exactly what everybody else does. We are in a place where we need to fight the system that finds it okay to murder people for a GDP. That's what needs to change. The whole thing needs to change. And Marianne Williamson can't do that. Only your neighbors and everybody in this country can do it. When you got a whole bunch of those 240 million people are willing to say, nope, I've evolved past psychopathy. I don't want to support war criminals no more. I'm not doing it. When you got that, then the system's going to think about changing. But until then, the system is not going to change. Marianne Williamson will murder people just like Bernie Sanders, just like Trump, just like Obama, because that's what the job requires. They will rain bombs down on children and just make you feel good about it because she'll say things that'll make you feel good. She'll say things that make sense. That's what psychopaths are good at. And I'm not saying Marianne Williamson is a psychopath. I'm not saying it. I'm just simply saying that these people are good with their charisma to get you in a cult, to convince you they're not taking little children in the back and hurting them. They're good at it. I've seen it my whole life, and you don't want to be that. Right now, it's time to start questioning whether or not we even need a government. And I'm not saying that we don't. I'm not saying we don't. I'm saying we need a more of a facilitatement. We need something to help facilitate the gross production of human beings who are doing good things and evolving us. But in terms of some sort of a federal nightmarish plantain master owner that's murdering people over there and enslaving people here, no, we don't need that. And when people start talking like that, then those things will start to manifest. Those things will start to happen. But we keep voting, putting people in, and outsourcing being an adult to these monsters or to a monstrous system, nothing will change. All right, there you go, Gerard. Conflict, constant conflict on the planet by whoever until whatever starts to wake up out of our hypnosis, right? And that's it, Susan. That we are locked into conflict. We are locked into conflict because people are cheering their 2020s. That's really where we are. You know, they're all their 2020s. It's based in this conflict game that we're any different than anybody else, anybody on the planet. We're not. We were just born in a different place. The dollar is worth nothing. That's why housing is expensive. The pay scale must also accommodate the worthlessness of the fiat dollar, which is why I say, Christine, let it collapse. Just let it all collapse. Let it go. Let it go. We'll build something in its place. It's just so corrupt and sick from the top to the bottom. We don't need more money to buy expensive things sold by corporations that murder people and colonize by buying the government. Things that shouldn't have a price to them. Now we got robots and automation. We shouldn't be focusing on human labor. We should be using robot labor to take humans out of labor so humans can do important things like think and be creative and build a better future. Let the robots do the hard work instead of just working for big corporations. Maria's hashtag triggered. Okay. The day Walmart goes out of business, I'll make a video dancing in the streets. Well, sissy, that's why I cheer up when I watch all these closing up of all these businesses. I'm cheering. I love mom and pops opening up. When the big mega companies are closing up and shutting down, I'm cheering. But we're losing jobs. You're not supposed to have those jobs because you're not supposed to have massive corporations big enough to buy your government, big enough to buy your media and make brainwashed zombies out of entire population of people. Code awareness is everything. Yes, it is, Mark. Code awareness. And being considerate of them. You know, we got to take on the cult, but you know, you take on the cult by not taking on the leader. You take on the cult by talking to the people in the cult, and you start pulling them out the back door, the ones you can, the ones that aren't still cheering the blood and sacrificing children on the altar, and you just start pulling people out the back. Then the following starts to fall, and cults are only there. Cult leaders only make it because people support them. When people stop supporting him, what is a David Koresh without people behind him? He's a guy. Can't do anything. Can't hurt anybody. Can't touch a child. When you got a whole bunch of people, you know, what is a federal government that has nobody behind it? It's nothing. It actually literally doesn't exist. It's literally a construct of our enslavement that we supported. Big enough to buy most of our time. Yeah, exactly. They'll buy our time. They buy our lives, and they fool us. Fool me thrice, 2020. Not exactly, Sharon. I'm on that. Don't fool me again. Like, I'm a functioning brain with a functioning frontal cortex. And I realize that you fooled me. I can't trust you in that federal government thing. I'll let everybody else debate as to why. If it's 1913, 1933, they don't respect the Constitution or contract law or the bribes by corporations, or they murder people like JFK. Let everybody else speculate. I think that's fun. It's good to have a conspiracy theory. I have no issues with that. The bottom line is you can't be trusted running the world. You can't be trusted running the nation because the government doesn't give two damns about the people in it. That's the job. That's what's required. Why? I don't know. And I have no interest debating on the why. The bottom line, they can't be trusted. So we need to stop acting like we're slaves. Start acting like you're a captive. You're a captive here. You're not enslaved by the mind. Woo, okay, that was a good one. Bye, Graham Hancock sent me there. He sent me there. It's Friday. I got to get out of here. Can we get a last good comment? Somebody sent us off into the weekend or something. Positivity. It's a good thing. You gotta think positive. You gotta be positive. Send out positive vibes into the universe. They come back to you. Let me see. Government relies on us remaining ignorant, passive, and safe with a sky daddy when we all need, when all we need surrounds us. Yes, all we need, Miss T, surrounds us. It all surrounds us, and they just want to be our daddy. Government just wants to be God, and they won. They actually are God. They're God to a lot of people. And that's how you have the cult, because people believe that the government's righteous. And so instead of solving their own problems like an adult, they go to their God. And that's their leaders. That's their 2020s. And I just see people posting their God all day long. Why? Because gods have the right to murder. Gods are the ones that have license to kill. Gods bring humans on this planet. Only gods can take them out. And people keep posting it. That doesn't end well. I think if we don't grow up, look out for the zombies. Yes, sissy, look out for the zombies. You got a brain, they're going to try to eat it. If the grid goes, Tina got one. And if the grid goes, your money is stuck in the bank. Because it's all computerized. It's all digital. Right, Tina? We don't know what Tina said. Right? So all of you people who still believe and you're still pushing, we're going to solve the problems with the same political parties that caused them. We're going to solve the world's problems with the same governments in Australia and America and Britain and France. And we're going to solve the world's problems with the same model and government that caused all the world's problems. All of them. They say, but no, things are getting better. They didn't cause the problems. War's always been here. Yeah, but it wasn't legal. Well, but rape's always been here. Yep, but it wasn't legal. Nah, but child trafficking and pedophilia, that's always been here. Yep, but it wasn't legal. We literally took all the dark ages and made them legal in legislation, and now they can sign a pen and it's okay to go blow up a country and send weapons to people so they can rape a bunch of people. Right? You're going to use the same tool to fix the problem that they caused. That's stupid. That literally is stupid. That makes no sense at all. All right. Keep fighting. Have a great weekend. Blasphemy to the war gods. I thought I was going to know Tina, right? So Tina, and this is the problem, is people aren't really grasping what World War III looks like. They don't grasp it. Russia did it, and China's the enemy, and Axis is evil, and that, like, they'll go with this Pompeo, and they'll go with the presidents, and they'll go with the congressmen. We need to be tough on these people. We need to send weapons and blow some things up and kill and murder some children. That's going to bring about a better world. It's going to bring about World War III. And I'm going to tell you, what does World War III look like? World War III. This is what day one looks like. Oh, damn it. My cell phone's not working. It's not working. I can't, dang it, I can't call nobody. I got no signal. I don't know what the hell is happening. You go plug in, oh, dang it, it's not charging. It's no power. World War III is not going to be on Insta-Picture-Chat. World War III is not going to be on YouTube. The revolution is not going to be on Facebook. World War III is not going to be on any of that. All of that stuff is just going to disappear. And all you're going to see is a trade in nuclear weapons. And if you don't see that, you're just going to see the lights go out and they're not going to come on for a couple thousand years. That's World War III. And this is what we're tempting by continuing to playing selective bigot and joining in with these fights, fighting other people because they were born in a different place. Just focus on it. Focus on the fact that the Denisobans were real. Focus on the fact that we're all related to them. Focus on the fact that we all got Neanderthal DNA in us. Focus on the fact that we're all family. And focus on the fact that there was a drill that made that hole and nobody can find the drill over 65,000 years ago. Focus on the fact that human beings have come forward in technology and we always get wiped out. And I suspect it's because we don't listen to the Egyptians, we don't listen to the Atlanteans, and we don't create governments that are sentient. We continue to cheer leaders that take that power, abuse it, and these Atlantean civilizations completely disappear. Because there's something in most people's brains that finds something good about not being a Southern. Find something good in being told what to do. It finds something good in remaining children requiring an adult government, an adult king to continue to orchestrate their lives and tell them how to live and force their neighbors to be like them, as opposed to just being free and using a facilitatement It facilitates your freedom and helps children to become what they need and creates houses for them and uses robots and automation to help us evolve into something better, something that what I think we were put here to become. That's why all the gods said the same thing. Love each other, don't kill each other, don't rob and steal from each other, respect each other. All right, listen, this is Jacque going. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. I'll post the links.